is Charlie's look of the day. Our bed. We're here in the Courtyard. This is literally my office now. We come here every day. It's so nice to just like get some fresh air. Just like get ready, leave the house, even if it's like literally here in the building. My coffee to go. I've been putting collagen here. I just took my aminos and my collagen, and now I need to take my creatine. I don't even know if all of this stuff works, but I hope they do. I really need to recover my body and I want to feel good and look amazing. So here we are. Anyway, you're gonna enjoy this amazing weather. This light in this kitchen, I swear, is the worst. I've been putting collagen peptides into my coffee every single day. I don't know what that does or not does. I can't speak to it. 4 scoops. Sorry, I'm watching Love Island and I feel like it's kind of loud. I hope something good. I think it's good for... Where is it? I'm losing everything. Whole milk. This is my favorite. And then I'm gonna do some vanilla bean. You guys know the drill. And then some ice. I think I'm gonna do these almond flour crackers, sea salt, gluten-free, low carb. It's supposed to be keto friendly. Not that I'm doing keto right now, but I'm definitely trying to stay healthy, you know. They're not as good. They're fine. I've just been editing some videos, doing some posts, and just caring for the baby. And days fly, honestly. I wish I was getting like paid to post content. Like, you don't realize how much work it is. And then I just really need brands to pop off and pay me. I'm like sharing so much free advice on brands and stuff, like Bobby Milk. They won't sponsor me and I recommend it to everybody. So Bobby, if you're watching this, please. But yeah, it's really gloomy today. It's rainy, but I really have been enjoying in warmer days to go out to my courtyard and just like chill there with the baby. It's really nice to get like fresh air. I'm not one to like leave the house much in terms of like taking an Uber and going to walk around Soho. Also, like I don't like taking him to many like public places, but I have, obviously, like we've been to a restaurant and stuff, but I try to like keep it like low-key. I've been really focused on getting my protein intake. This is ritual, prenatal and postnatal protein. So I'm back at the gym slowly, but I'm gonna move because this lighting is really bad. But yeah, I wanted to sit down and chat a little bit about... Why is this blue? Hold on, let me fix this lighting. Okay. Here we are. So I just wanted to check in and just talk about my postpartum journey. I feel like I've been feeling really good this time around. I think my whole pregnancy was hard, and I've mentioned this many times, but because of my pelvic pain. However, I worked out and I pushed myself to work out 3 times a week. I had a trainer. We did really like stretching, slow movement, mobility, and weights. Obviously, like, consult with your doctor, but for me, that's what worked. My doctor said, you know, do whatever you did before being pregnant. Like, weightlifting is actually like good for you. So that's what I did, and I really think that helped with my recovery. I want to acknowledge that I know that every single pregnancy is different, and this is not the case for everybody. Like, so I don't want to come across like, oh yeah, it must be nice to say that you can work out when, like, I don't know, I've heard stories of people having to like have their legs up their whole pregnancy because, you know, their cervix is short, or they have like, there's 100 different stories with pregnancy. That's just mine. So like, I think nobody can expect that what they hear here is going to be their experience, because it can be very different. However, I do think that just like hearing about stories and like seeing what works best for you, and like for me, it wasn't easy to go to the gym. Like, it was not easy at all to wake up after, first of all, I suffer from insomnia when I'm pregnant, and I think it's hormonal, like my body preparing for when the baby is here. But just being up from 3 to 5 a.m. and then going to the gym at 6:15 before my toddler wakes up, like all of those things are hard. And pushing myself, like my hips really hurt, like to another level. Like, I could not walk more than 2 blocks. It was very painful. However, I did push myself, and I do think those things long term and for the delivery and all of the things worked. So that's just what worked for me. Now, my labor and delivery was an easy one. I had contractions naturally out of nowhere. Like, I literally worked the whole day. I worked out that day, worked the full day. It was my last day at work, worked the full day. Then my parents got here, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel contractions. Like, the cramping, all the things. And we timed it, and we're like, it is contractions. I called my doctor. They said to go to the hospital. And once I got there, I was already 3 centimeters dilated, or 4. They're like, you have options. Like, do you want to wait to see how much you dilate on your own, or do you want the epidural and be induced? Because of my experience with Archie, I knew the induction process worked for me, and I felt good about it. So I was like, let's get the epidural and let's get this party started. We're having a baby today. Like, I'm not going back home to wait until I dilate more and have more pain. Like, it was already so painful. Like, I truly don't know how people do it without the epidural. Like, it's painful. I got the epidural, which this time around was very stressful for me because the doctor looked tired, and I was like, and she like was younger. Like, the last doctor that did it was like way older, and in my head it was like, okay, an older doctor means more experience. And I'm like, shit, this young girl is going to put, I mean, she wasn't a girl, she was like probably in her 30s, but I'm like, she looks tired, it's 1 a.m. like, you know. My last doctor was like, okay, breathe in and don't breathe out, like hold it and then he'll put it on. This one was like, breathe, and she's like, don't shake, don't move your hip. And I'm like, oh my God, like, it was so stressful, but it was fine at the end, you know. Like, it was actually like great, but that was stressful. And then what took longer, honestly, was for them to find my vein. Like, in my hand, they couldn't find my vein. I mean, it was just, you know, like, I have really small veins for the freaking IV. That took forever. And then once they did, they were like, okay, we're gonna start you on Pitocin, which is the thing that gets you to have more contractions and dilate. Last time they did the balloon, and they did a little like pill that helps you dilate, but my doctor was like, I'm not doing that because you're already dilated, and this is a new doctor. So I was like, oh my God, how is it gonna go, you know? But he was right. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're like, okay, good night, like, try to sleep, it might take a few hours. Like, for me, like with Archie, when they put the Pitocin, it was 2 a.m. I delivered at 12 the following day, so it was like 12 plus like 14-hour labor. Whereas like here, they're like, okay, fall asleep. And then I tried to fall asleep, but I couldn't. Or I was like, you know, scrolling on my phone, waiting. Connor like fell asleep, and then I felt my water break. Like, I felt water all over my legs, and I'm like, oh my God, Connor, call the doctor right now. He called the doctor, or like he called the nurse, and I started feeling like crazy contractions. Like, you can't describe it. Like, that pressure that you feel when you're about to give birth, that I felt with Archie, that I felt the exact same thing. So I was like, I think the baby's here. And he's like, no way, it's been like 30 minutes. I'm like, I swear. The nurse came and she looked down there and she's like, yep, he's here. Called the doctors, everybody, like, and I pushed for 5 minutes 3 times, and he was here. I mean, he was right there. The doctor is like, congratulations, like, amazing delivery, like, you don't even need 1 stitch, everything is perfect, and great job. And I'm like, oh my God, like, what just happened? So that was a very blessed delivery, and I understand that not everybody has the same experience. I do want to disclaim this is my second child, so I think your body just has muscle memory. However, like, things can go many different ways, and I am fully aware of that. So, but just sharing my story. Now, postpartum and the whole breastfeeding situation of it all. I tried to get him to latch at the hospital. He wasn't latching. He was kind of like not knowing. Obviously, the babies don't know, right? Like, so I'm not gonna say like, oh, some babies are good at latching, some babies are bad at latching. Like, none of them know. I mean, I guess some of them are like good and they go straight to it. But in my experience, I just don't have the patience for it, I guess. Like, I'm stressed that the baby's not getting the nutrients they need. And if he's not latching and hours are going by, I get anxious. And they honestly give you the option. They're like, do you want formula? And I'm like, yeah. And he drank that bottle so fast. And then obviously once they start drinking formula, they don't want the boob because the boob is work. So, and I'm aware of that. But I don't know, I just don't feel the pressure of breastfeeding. And I know this is like a very controversial conversation. Like, I understand the nutrients that they get and like the benefits that they get. However, infant formula right now, it's so advanced. The formula that I decided to go with Archie and now with Charlie is Bobby. You can do some research, but it's organic, it's, you know, like great ingredients, and I feel really good about it. Again, I am aware that many kids have stomach issues and they are allergic to milk and or to powder, and sometimes that's not even an option for you. My kids don't have that, so for me that was like, okay, the baby's responding well to this, let's keep doing this. I did pump for the first few weeks of his life, and for me that's something that's very triggering and stressful because I don't produce enough. However, I do understand that I don't produce enough because I don't do it enough. So if you don't pump every 2 hours, you're not gonna get the supply that you want. If the baby's not in your boob stimulating you, then you're not going to have milk. I mean, that is what it is. I do think some women just like produce way more than others. I think I'm in the ones that don't produce enough. However, like, I don't know, if I tried really hard every 2 hours, like having the oats, having all the supplements, having all the things, putting him on my boob, like, I'll probably produce way more. And the reality is I don't want to do it, you know. Like, right now for me it's really important to also be with Archie, like to bathe him, to spend time with him, be in a good mental space for both of them, and being the only parent that's able to feed the baby at all times of the day. And also, like, breastfed babies want, like, they cluster feed and they want to like just be in your boob even if they're not hungry. I don't have that capacity right now. I don't want it to seem like I'm not with the baby. I'm with the baby all the time. Like, right now he's napping in his crib because I wanted to like do my protein shake and like whatever, get some things done around the house and like record this video. But he's on me all day long and I'm like literally just with him all day long. By the way, I do think that it's so important for them to nap in their bassinet or in their crib when they're like newborns, just so that they get used to it. I don't want my children to have to be held in order to fall asleep. Like, it's not for me. Like, some people like rock them to sleep every single night until they're 4 years old. That's just not me. But again, like, to each their own. I want my kids to be independent and to be able to just be like, okay, good night, go to bed, and then go to their bed. But that's a different story. I think with parenting, like, there's to each their own. Every family is different. I'm just sharing my experience and what works for me. But back to the conversation about breastfeeding, I like going to bed and getting like a 2-3 hour stretch and then having Connor do the shift, and then I wake up for the following shift. That's how we do it. We don't have night nurses, we don't have anybody in our house helping us, and that just worked for me. Like, I cannot imagine being the sole parent every single night and every single second of the day feeding. Like, I think I don't have the mental capacity for it, and I'm pretty strong mentally, but like, it's a lot, and especially because I also have a toddler that I want to attend to. I don't know, I just also, for me, it was very triggering, like putting the pump for freaking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then looking at it with my nipples all sore. And sorry, this is TMI. I'm sure this is just girls here anyway. And looking at the pump, and there's nothing. And I'm like, hello, what happened? Like, oh, the pieces maybe were not put right, or maybe like I don't have enough, or I have like half an ounce in each one boob and an ounce in another boob, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's a lot. So anyway, I think that is like my honest opinion with breastfeeding. Not congrats, but like I do think that women that just purely breastfeed are like very strong mentally, because I could not. But my friend like breastfed only, and she's like, no, I'm not strong, I'm just lazy, that I don't want to have to clean bottles and do all of that. So I literally just like grab my child, putting on each boob for 5 minutes, and then we're done. And I'd rather do that throughout the night, all night, than having to make a bottle and then wash it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, again, to each their own. This is just my experience. And also, like, obviously my baby sleeps longer because he's on a bottle, so I have him on a schedule. So for me, like, I know right now in 2 hours he's gonna wake up because he just had a bottle. So I know I have 2 hours to like put the house together, like do my things, and then he's gonna wake up, he's gonna have another bottle, so I can plan. Like right now we have a routine where we go to the park and I watch my toddler play. Like obviously the nanny's around, like helping to run behind him and all of that, but I can like go to the park and feed him his bottle, and I know that I have like my schedule. I'm just like a very like scheduled person like that, and I know he's not gonna like cry and want my boob in a situation where I can't give him my boob. Like that's just how I am. I also don't feel comfortable like in the middle of the street like popping the boob. Like I don't know, it's just not for me, and that's the reality. So I just want to be honest with it. I did ask ChatGPT. Connor hates ChatGPT because it's like it only tells you what you want to hear, but for me is what works. And I think a lot of women agree with me, however they don't say it because it's frowned upon, and like people are proud to breastfeed and proud to pump. And trust me, like if I put my pumps on and I was pumping 8 ounces on each boob, I would post it. Like I know, like you get like something to be proud of, but also like let's be real here, a lot of people do it, like the formula thing, and it's okay. So this is what ChatGPT said.
The conversation around breastfeeding can sometimes make it sound like it's the obvious or easy choice, but for many women, especially with a newborn and another child at home like Archie, breastfeeding or exclusive pumping can feel overwhelming. A realistic rundown. Benefits of breastfeeding. Breast milk contains antibodies that can help protect against some infections, especially in the first few months. It may slightly lower the risk of ear infections, stomach bugs, and some respiratory illnesses. There are some associations with lower rates of certain conditions later in life, though many of those differences become much smaller when researchers account for family and socioeconomic factors. For moms, breastfeeding may slightly reduce the risk of breast and ovarian cancer and can help the uterus contract after birth. What often gets left out, the benefits are real, but they're usually not the dramatic difference social media sometimes makes them seem. Modern infant formula is highly regulated and designed to provide complete nutrition. Millions of healthy, thriving children, including many doctors, athletes, and scientists, were formula fed. And honestly, at 3 to 4 weeks postpartum, what you're describing is one of the biggest reasons women choose formula. Pumping every 2 to 3 hours around the clock is exhausting. Many newborns cluster feed for hours. Breastfeeding can mean being the default parent for every feeding. Sleep deprivation can be intense. Some moms struggle with supply, pain, mastitis, or anxiety around feeding. When you say, I can't imagine having him on my boob all day, that's not unusual at all. Many mothers feel trapped, touched out, overwhelmed, or mentally drained by the demands of breastfeeding, even when they love their babies deeply. Looking at your situation specifically, you have a 20-month-old toddler, you have a 3-week-old newborn, you're recovering postpartum, you're already managing nighttime feeds and caring for 2 children. Those are all legitimate reasons to decide that formula feeding is the better fit for your family. Also, Charlie received colostrum in those first days, which is when babies get a concentrated dose of antibodies and immune factors. While that doesn't mean he got all the benefits of long-term breastfeeding, it does mean he received something valuable during those early days. The most important question isn't, is breast milk better than formula? It's what feeding method allows my baby to be well fed and allows me to be the healthiest, most functional version of myself. A well fed baby with a rested, present mom is a very good outcome.